Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is Star Wars Saturdays, an ongoing, very long anthology series of tabletop RPGs where I take different tabletop role playing games, mostly indies, small press stuff, and I hack it, remix it, or just say, hey, guess what? This is in Star Wars. It's my ever going love of all of the flexibilities and interesting bits of indie games and how to work them into an established setting. We are currently playing a game called Afterburner, and Afterburner happens to be my 97th different tabletop RPG that I have either played or facilitated set in Star Wars that is not an official Star Wars RPG. Creeping closer to the 100, whereupon I will explode or something. I don't know. Afterburner is great. It's a game by Ryan Wolf you can find on itch. It is inexpensive. It is based on the LUMEN, LUMEN, LUMEN system. But is the I have shared this game and how it works with a few of my friends who love Lumen games, and they said this is the crunchiest Lumen game they have ever seen. So feel good about how hard it was for me to run it because it's super crunchy, they say. But Lumen initially was created as the idea of trying to ape first-person shooter video games in a tabletop RPG setting. Now, Ryan, in creating Afterburner, was more inspired by the old X-Wing arcade games and computer RPGs, and you can definitely see that in the DNA of this game. We had fun last week jumping straight into using the LiDAR, which is like a zone-based map for how their cool X-Wing fighters move around and take out bogies and splash bandits and all of that fun terminology. There's a gigantic lexicon, right? This is not the first Ryan game. It's the first Lumen game I've played that he's created, but we earlier, well, actually, it's been a whole year. Oh my gosh, crazy. We played Red Air, which was super cool, and it was a TIE fighter style game that used a different core system but had a lot of similarities in some of the aspects. That's a long monologue. Let's reintroduce all. I know, right? Move it on. Thank you, Cody, who hasn't renamed himself. So you could have like spent some of this time more wisely, I think. uh So let's go around the horn and have folks reintroduce themselves. And also, if we could do quick renames, which I forgot to ask people to do before we went to recording. So, really, I take partial responsibility for that, only partial, though. So, there we go. Awesome. Thank you, Cody. So, let's start from the left hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the right. We go all the way to Paul's phone. Paul, if you could introduce yourself and remind us about your character.
Hi, yeah. My name's Paul, pronouns he, him, and the character I'm playing is Clue Mugatu, call sign Hopper, pronouns he, him, and Clue has the archetype Maverick. And in the last episode, he was commanded by Ghost One to go in and deal with the incoming TIE fighters. Something that he did while probably his forward wingman Banshee disappeared off and then dropped a nuke on myself and Ghost One. So it wasn't too bad. Just shook up my starfighter a little bit. And yeah, I lost some. I had some information of some because I'm an ex-Imperial. I had some information on some old Imperial TIE pilots, and I've lost that now. My astromech blew up, and yeah, I no longer have. I don't know who they are. I know they're out there, but I don't have their contact details anymore. So that's where I was left.
Indeed. I love that. That was one of my favorite little bits that we discovered is the cheat death track in this game when you click one of them, a thing mechanically happens to prevent your character from dying in the fight, but there is definitely a cost, a narrative cost, not just mechanical. So very cool. Thank you so much, Paul. Next up is Alan. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character, sir.
My name is Ali. My pronouns are he, him, as are the pronouns of Edge Antigua, Ghost One, commander of Ghost Squadron, which is what this squadron is. Edge used to be a smuggler before he joined the rebellion. He's older. He would say more experienced, and he would point to the fact that he splashed 3 bogeys last time, whereas nobody else splashed more than 2. And yeah, he has a beef with Ace, with our Ace Banshee. Banshee is, a loose cannon. And look at the splash ratings, an ineffective loose cannon, and that will be in my report.
Oh my. Oh my. Shots fired. Shots fired. Excellent. Well, I think after all such information about our ace, we should hear from them themselves. Okay, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Yeah,
Your much
hi.
maligned character, it seems.
Yeah, this is some bull hockey. Yeah, I'm Kay, she, they pronouns. And I play Sears Vaunt, call sign Banshee, he, they pronouns, our ace, speed racer, who definitely explained what he was going to do. And if people just listened and understood, they wouldn't have been in the way of his nukes. So that's just kind of on them for not really listening to what Banshee put out there. And if anything, that's ineffective leadership on your part for not properly utilizing your team where they needed to go. And yeah, he's a little shit. Yeah, he's a little shit. And he likes his nukes. He has emotional support nukes. And he likes to use them. And this new squad mostly seems but their captain needs to like let his hair down. Ghost One, you're making too much out of this. You're fine.
Well, that's quite a rebuttal. Let's end things off with Cody. If you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character, please.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Cody. I use the he, him pronouns, as does Big Brother Dio Retere, an Ardenian pilot. He's the wingmate archetype. So, he's here to help. He's here to make sure nobody gets in too thick, nothing they can't get out of. He's happy to be here. Although he is looking to retire. All he wants in the world is to just get back to freighter flying. It's so much easier, smooth living.
Smooth living. That was I did not expect you to stop on smooth living. I thought there was more.
I mean, what more is there in life than smooth
that's
living?
true. I mean, smooth living is pretty good. It's like PB living, but different.
But different.
But different, yeah, very different. Probably a little smarter, a little less harmful to the world as a business idea.
And you know what? Actually, real quick, sorry, one final thing I think, is on the side of whatever Starfighter Dio is flying, it does say smooth living on the side of it. There's a big banner. It's beautiful.
Nice. So we ended last session with the conclusion of your mission. You expelled some Imperials who had come into the space of your lovely base and planet where you are currently located. And before we jump into the R&R phase, I'd like to take a few moments again. So we're clear, I am using as inspiration the one adventure that has been created for Afterburner, which is called Operation Snowblind. However, Operation Snowblind, as written, is set on a frosty planet, perhaps an ice planet, and I instead chose to set it in a different area, a sandy planet. So it is not snow blind at all because there's no snow. That said, you guys are on Abafar, and one of the things in the module, ooh, it's salt. That's true. It's salt that if you like turn it over, it's red. Who cares? Why? But one of the things that the module suggests that I think is really cool is the idea of having us build the general of your base. So that is what we will do. We're going to collaboratively create the general. And I think we're going to start off with Hopper. What species and gender is our general?
He's got to be Admiral Akbar, sort of. I can't remember the species.
Oh, cool.
Let's
cool.
have one of them.
A Monkal.
Indeed.
You said he, so he, him?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Then let's ask Ghost One a question here. The generals, Monkal, he, him, how new to the role or experience? Like, how long has this general or Mon Calamari been in the role? How seasoned are they? You're the seasoned expert, right? Because you're playing an old character.
Yeah, I think not very. I think he's been promoted in from, leading a strike group somewhere. So not hugely experienced at command. Probably a great pilot, but also maybe in bigger ships rather than fighters.
Interesting. Wow, so he's gone from perhaps leading a strike group that's part of like bigger capital ships, and now he's running up a ground base. That's fascinating. Cody, what is the general famous for? And it could be the strike group, it could be a battle we've seen in the original trilogy, it could be a made-up thing, it could be a Star Wars Legends thing that you know about that you want to give more spotlight to. Do you see how I've targeted this question to you, Cody? Because I'm smart.
Yeah. And I'd really hate to let you down. I think he is responsible. He's responsible for being one of the commanders at the Battle of Tanab, a famous battle that, of course, Lando Calrissian had a maneuver in. But our general was there as well.
Battle of Tanab. Can you spell that for me?
Tanaab.
Oh man.
So it's actually a battle between pirates and Lando. This maybe this general was once in that pirate group.
This took place in 4AB. Why? Between Lando Calrissian and pirate fleet.
It should have happened already.
Oh no, it's totally cool. I'm not countermanding you. I've just looked it up in the Wikipedia. I'm excited. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Shortly before the Battle of Endor.
So. All right. Yes.
Nice. Oh man, there's a really cool pic in the Wikipedia entry of like Lando with a crap ton of ships. I'm going to share that because that's cool art. Man, there we go. Look at that. Battle of Tanab. Good stuff. We've got a cool Y-wing there. Is that an X-wing or is that one of the Z95s?
That looks like a Z95 headhunter if I've ever seen one.
Hey, I called it. I'm a little more nerdy. I feel good. Don't worry about this, Kay. We're super nerds. This is not knowledge.
You're all good. You're having fun.
Okay. And then so Banshee.
Yeah.
The general personally recruited you, what did he say was his reasoning? Like, why did he think that you would be the ace of this squadron? He who led a strike force, participated in the Battle of Tanab, and has recently become a general.
I think it was something along the lines like, I have never met a pilot that takes the risks that you do and somehow survives. And we need that kind of energy here. Someone who's going to take the risk and see it through despite all the odds.
Cool. I like it. How does General Audux sound?
Good.
Odux, does that sound like an okay surname?
Neat.
Cool. There we go. I will assign finding a cool picture for General Chess Audux to anyone who wants to step and say, I would like to troll through Star Wars images of Moncals. Who wants that?
I'll do it. It's fine. You know what? I have access to all the great pictures of Moncals. I know where to find them.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cody. I really appreciate your extra effort. You're wonderful. Thanks, everybody. We now know all about General Audux, who is recently promoted, led a strike group, really used to command, or not experienced to command per se, used to capital ships and strike force, was part of the Battle of Tanab fighting pirates, and now is stuck in Abafar with command over a forward base that, if you remember, is has part of a reclamation of a mining area for fuel, and that is the hope that Abafar will be able to harvest the rhydonium that is left in the planet to further the efforts of the New Republic to beat back Warlord Zinj and the remaining Imperials, the Imperial Remnant. So, that done. Now let us move on to R&R. So the R&R phase is not something I think exists in Lumen, so don't worry about that. But I think it's cool. So after a mission, we enter the R&R phase to allow us as players and audience to see your characters outside of the cockpit, as it were. So you get to distinguish your characters. Each R&R phase features 2 scenes. Each PC or each player will be able to participate in one or both of the scenes. We'll do our best to make space, unless you as a player choose, nah, I don't want to play my character because there's some cool stuff here. One player is the director. Keep in mind, that does not say the Sky Master or Sky Marshal. Crap, I call myself Sky Master, but I'm a Sky Marshal. I screwed up, guys. Sorry about that. I'll fix it. So it doesn't say the Sky Marshal is the director. So let's keep that in mind. I do not mind slotting into that role, but I know that every one of you have successfully GM'd in the past, so I know that that's a thing. So or played GMless games. So one player is the director of the scene, and another player is the star of a scene. We'll keep a tally of who has done what roles, and I think that's why we see this part of the character keeper, the director, star, objective, terrain, foobar. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I think that's why that's there, because it's definitely not explained anywhere in the book. So the scene director establishes the circumstance, setting the environment, the vibe, the people involved. Folks can step into, say, yeah, I'm going to play so-and-so NPC. I realized that we had a pretty empty setting, so I went ahead and threw in, and clever eyes who have participated in many Star Wars Saturdays may recognize a few of these folks, or folks who've played Star Wars Battlefront may recognize Zay Versio. She's the daughter of an Imperial defector who's super awesome and my favorite part of Battlefront 2. So yeah, those are some characters in case you're like, oh, well, I don't know what to think of. There are NPCs who exist in the thing. They only exist for us to bring into scenes and be interesting. So if you don't find them interesting, don't feel obligated. Scene director establishes circumstances. Director chooses one of the scene types. So this is interesting. We choose the director. The director chooses one of the scene list. I've taken the Afterburner project. Oh shoot, I forgot the name of it already. Snowblind, that's it. Snowblind, and I modified it to be sandy instead of snowy, but it's pretty much the exact same things. Instead of winter vacation, it's summer vacay. Anyway, so there's a scene list. The director will choose the scene types, one of the scene types from the scene list. There's a theme for each scene. There are questions that we want to answer. Then the director can select which player will star in the scene, and then the star will be playing their character, right? But the director could also offer it up if they so wish. Director can bring in other PCs to be present in the scene, but they're not the star. The star is the star. Other folks can play NPCs, and then we play through the scene trying to resolve or answer the questions. And then once we've answered the questions, we bring the scene to a close. That's it. Keeps scenes focused to the point. Our ultimate goal is to see an answer to the scene questions. Often the director will select the player. Yeah. There you go. Any questions? Is that clear to folks, or is there anything that's unclear? Now, the game does have mechanics for you doing stuff outside of your ship. It's very easy, right? You still have your stats. You won't have your ship bonus. You won't have integrity, but you can either be wounded or not wounded, and you still have access to your talent. So you can still do things. So we can engage the rules if we need to. So let's let the dice decide who will be the director. Is that fair? Is there anyone who wants to say, I'd like to opt out of being a director? I'm just offering that up. I hear silence. So that means everyone is good with being a possible director. Delightful. Let's have everybody. Oh, did someone say something? Okay, maybe not. Let's jump to our safety and roller. I had the roller up over here. Boom. So everyone gets to roll one. You know, I want more variety because D6s can often. So we're going to roll D20s. This is crazy. What am I doing?
Who are you?
I mean, I just gotta have I was accused of making a D20 attack in the Star Wars play-by-post game that I'm playing, and I thought, I don't even know what you're talking about, a D20 sneak attack, but okay, whatever, dude. Here we go. We're gonna roll a D20. Highest roll is the director. There we go. All right. What could it mean? Big Brother has a 12. Oh man! Dang it. Why am I rolling? I should have opted out. This is terrible. Oof.
Wow.
Holy cats and kittens. Oh man, Ghost won. Come on. Oh
17 still the highest.
17 still the highest. Dang it. Dang it. Okay. Amazing. Here
It's just meant to be, Rich.
I know, I'm a dummy. Why did I even roll? I should have said, this will be interesting. I'm going to not roll. I didn't say that.
Well, you know what? It really furthers the idea. I don't know if anybody else heard this, but when Rich said, let's let the dice decide, there was a bit of Palpatine coming through. You know, there's big Emperor vibes. And the thing about the Emperor is he makes it seem like he's leaving it up to chance, but it's all within his control.
There also is a secondary scene where if you choose, you can opt out, Rich, if you would like to instead see
That's
what
true.
position ends. So there are.
Does anyone have a burning desire of like, I really want to be the director in this? Because I will hand the reins. Otherwise, we did the dice and I'll stay by the dice.
Alan wants it.
Ooh, Alan's got it. Oh, sweet. All right. I should have started off with saying to Zeke, I got a burning desire to direct. Dang it. I've got to remember that. Who wants to direct? The guy who's an actor, an amazing actor. It's time for me to direct. Alan, you're the director.
So I get to set the scene, establish the circumstances.
You
setting
choose one
the
of the
environment.
scenes from the scene list.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
the closest I can get is you could use a good kiss, right? A fiery breakup is heard echoing through the sand-encrusted halls, and it's a doozy. And this is an argument between Ghost One and our general.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. And so interesting. Okay. So argument between
well-
Ghost One and the general. Yes? You were going to say more.
But
And I
Yeah,
imagine the star is
Alan's the
hearing.
director, so he can't be the star.
No, I'm not. No, I want that to be going on, and the star with maybe some of the rest of you to hear it, because that's what it is, isn't it? The star is the person closest to it, either because they are a participant or because they just happen to be unlucky enough to get dragged in.
Ooh, neat. So it isn't about the fight. It's about
No, it's about what people, how you react, how the other characters react to it.
neat.
Because what I want to avoid, cards on the table here, is a direct go-to between Ghost One and Banshee.
That makes total sense. I like that. So
then
this,
what you're going to do is identify a star randomly, or what?
I believe it's up to you. You're the
Yeah.
director.
the
Oh, really?
director,
Directors
yeah.
do
You
the
figure
whole
out.
thing.
Then I think I would like to identify Big Brother as the star, as being
Yes.
closest to this and hearing all of this. Because I get the feeling
Okay.
Big Brother is kind of some of the oil in the machine that might make this squadron work. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But-
Okay.
That's great.
But I think it says it's for the star to decide whether they are just unlucky enough to get dragged in, or whether it's they're a participant. I think it's I thought this would be them away from the action of the argument, but it's the star.
Sure. I think it makes sense for is this, to clarify, because the scene is a fiery breakup. Is this a fiery breakup or just a fiery argument?
I think this is there's a risk of a breakup between the general and Edge.
Okay. So I think to me, Big Brother's outside, perhaps as lookout. I think the ship is only so big, or the station's only so big, and something like this needs to be handled behind closed doors. Big Brother, he's out in the hallway, leaning against a wall, all forearms kind of crossed and doing different things. And he's just kind of letting what needs to happen, but making sure that it doesn't affect morale elsewhere.
What are some of, I'm sorry, I'm asking a question now. I don't think I'm allowed to, but I'm asking anyway. Director, is Ghost One like reporting Banshee's activities?
Yeah,
That's what's
absolutely.
okay.
And
okay.
and what the frack? Why have you posted a dangerous pilot into my squadron? It's lunacy, damn it.
Nice.
That's the vibe, that's the tone.
So then I think with that going on inside, Dio, his arms crossed, he's kind of nodding along with what he's hearing, but he's keeping his head on a swivel, making sure nobody's coming down. Nobody else in his squadron, to be sure. That would be the worst thing to happen, right? Is somebody else comes down and overhears this and creates some sort of strife within the squadron. But the station's only so big.
I'd like to suggest additional PCs who, despite Dio's hope that no one is going to get involved with this, I'd like to suggest that both Hopper and Banshee, notice Dio and come to see Dio, and then the three of them can have a scene if they want to, unless either Banshee or Hopper want to opt out.
No, I'd like to know what we're trying to resolve here.
I think that's for your star to tell you. I mean, I think, you know, it's because it says, is the star serving as or looking for advice, a shoulder to play on, a distraction, or a rebound? So, you know, who else notices the star's involvement?
Yeah, I think in this instance, Dio's working as a distraction here, and if the two of you approach behind the curtain, the thing that's being resolved is kind of the squadron, us getting a moment to discuss what happened without the leader, and us getting to have that kind of space away from it. So, so you know, Dio's he's fiddling with a pocket knife, or he's cleaning his nails, and then he sees Banshee or Hopper coming around, and he's just like, I'm kind of stuck here. I can't stop. You shouldn't come down this way. Probably turn around and go to the mess. I bet it's I heard it's a chili night at the mess. It's they make pretty good chili on base, if that's what you're interested in.
Dio, I'm on my way to the gym, man. You know, got to work the guns.
Hey, yeah, Hopper, you got to build those guns. I don't. I got 4 arms, so you know, I each gun is a little bit smaller than, you know, maybe your arms. Yeah, no, the gym, you could probably go the other way too. You know, it's a pretty smooth sailing. Dio kind of waits to hear, is there a quiet moment inside? So yeah, but maybe the other way's faster. Somebody spilled a bunch of calf down here. It smells terrible.
Really?
You can't smell it, Hopper.
I'd like
you
to
gotta
see if
go
you
to
can.
the infirmary.
Man, I can smell lots of things, but I can't smell that. I'd like to see
That's
if you
a
can
sign.
bullshit me. Is there a bullshit roll?
I wonder if I have a talent related to that.
What stat covers bullshitting?
Oh man.
I feel like Burn, just by the name, you know, acting. But let's see: force of will, rushing into a room, riling up a crowd with dejected.
Gauge
with
is when you want
loaded.
to be clever. It
Okay.
says roll
All right.
gauge when you want to be clever.
Perfect. I'll do it. They're both 3s for me. No big deal. All right, so I'm rolling 3d6. I got a 1, a 1, and a 4. A 4 is a
Well, 4 is
success and a
partial
quadruple.
success, but comes with complex. Oh yes, I think I can smell something, but man, that means I'm gonna have to go surface side. Oh, but yeah.
It sounds like you could use
a
fresh air. You tough. Your sniff is not working so good. You could probably use a bit of fresh air.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I mean, if you want, fine, I'll see you later in the mess hall if that chili's as good as you say.
It is. You know, one quick question. Hop. One quick question before you go. One more thing. You know, feel about what went down out in that sortie. You know, the whole hey, nuke, and you know, oh, Banshee's turned against us, fire at will, or what have you. You know, you feel all right with how everything went down?
Man, did you see what happened to my ship? My astromech got blown the hell out, man. That's still under heavy repair. I'm probably going to have to fly blind on the next. That wasn't cool. Area effect weapons, no, man. You know, I'm sure there's some accord somewhere that says we shouldn't be using them. But hey, it did achieve its aim. But you know, a great pilot like Banshee, you know, that's like using a sledgehammer to crack a walnut. You know, I'd expected a pilot like Banshee to be a by far better gunner than just drop a nuke, man. That's poor flying as far as I'm concerned. You know, that's sledgehammer versus walnut. That's how I'm seeing it.
I hear you. I appreciate that perspective, and I appreciate you venting it to me. I do. I appreciate you kind of releasing that tension, perhaps.
Yeah, well, while I fixed the astromech, and he was a good astromech man. I hope they can fix him. APPO, one of a kind as far as I was concerned. But hey, let's see what they return with. But anyway, I'm off to the gym. I'll catch you later in the
All
mess
right.
hall.
Well, okay. Yeah, I'll catch you in a bit. Hold on.
And I think, yeah, you go to walk away, and they're just like, well, Hopper, don't rush away. Come on, I got a good time. And I think Banshee comes in, and in each hand is a bottle of Revnog.
Revnog. Is this Revnog 5 or Revnog 4?
Whatever's cheaper.
Oh man, I like the 5, but I mean, yeah, I can do the 4 if need be. 5's just by far better. But I was off to the gym, and yeah, Dio's giving me this there's something being released down there. I can't go that way, so do you want to join me in the gym?
I mean, I could, but that'd just be like sad. Like we just survived. Like we just had a whole big thing. We did a great job. We should drink. Okay, what if I get a third bottle?
Dio did say there's something going on in the mess hall.
Okay, but no, but I like it. What if great idea. Hopper, you're full of great ideas. I get a third bottle. We hook them up to pull-up bars so that as the three of us do pull-ups, we like success pull-up, you get your mouth on like the top of the bottle. We put it like a nozzle there. And then every successful pull-up, you get a shot.
Banshee,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do pull-ups with an Ardanian. I got 4 arms and not so much body weight. I can pull myself. I would probably outrace the two of you. But maybe you two should go do that. That seems like a fun activity.
No, Dio, you got to come with us.
My drinking days are behind me. My liver can't handle that kind of stuff no more.
Oh, come on, listen. Life is for living because you're gonna die eventually.
Well, I hope to retire first.
Well, yeah, but just come drinking. And I'm gonna step like a little closer, like maybe into like further proximity to try and like, cajole Dio.
Yeah, okay. I bet this. I'll come. You guys go get it set up. Go get that third bottle, and I'll be right there. I'm kind of finishing something over here, and I'll meet you guys in the gym.
So Dio got a success, but there was a complication. Can anybody suggest a good complication? But it was a success. He did chin me off, so I will go. I'm not going to press further down the corridor, but there was a complication.
Ooh, you think the complication might be overhearing a little bit of the screaming match?
That would seem the obvious one, that it's not just a smell that Dio's trying to put you off. Damn it, General! You can't be serious.
Dio,
yeah. Seriously, it's a mess. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, these engineers, they just leave all sorts of fluids out sometimes. I think they think that this just because we're using the base, we shouldn't treat it like our own. I think we should. I think it's
I could tell you
responsible.
stories about fluids in places.
I bet you could, Banshee. I bet you could, and I'd love to hear those at the gym. Go get that third bottle, and I'll meet you guys there.
Okay, but don't dawdle. Don't dawdle, Dio.
I'm not gonna dawdle. I'm not gonna dawdle. I'm gonna go change out my gear. This isn't good workout gear.
Yeah,
you're acting squirrely.
That Red Knox 4. That's some pretty harsh. Some may say that's turbine fluid.
Some might. I wouldn't. I like it. Like I said, it's a bit behind my. I don't do it so much these days, but and I don't know anything about being squirrely, Banshee. That's you might not know a lot of Ardanians. This is just how I am. This, it's kind of it's because we have 4 arms. Our nervous system's really tightly wound.
Are you sure there's not something going on back there?
I think Banshee kneels down a little to get at like height level with Dio.
Yes. Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm a little bit lower than you. Yeah, but man, my reach, watch out.
What's going on?
Going on? It's just I kind of all right. I'll break clean with you, Banshee. Sometimes after a sortie with what happened out there, the whole the tides came in, the nukes, the collateral damage, it runs a little high. And for me personally, I just kind of need a moment to myself. I need to kind of break away and decompress after something like that. Because feelings get a little high. And sometimes people don't like what they do, and sometimes they don't like who they are in moments like that, and maybe they do things that maybe they wish they hadn't.
Yeah, Banshee,
And
that was
something like
actually that wasn't a cool move dropping that nuke, man. Damaged my starfighter.
Well, I don't know why you didn't move out faster. I mean, I let you
we
know
could
that I
only
was gonna do.
Banshee, you did. You gave us heads up, but it's some people can't move as fast as you. You're a hell of a pilot, and it doesn't hurt that you weren't the captain of the squadron. You were kind of pulling some moves. I think I overheard the comms. You're trying to like kind of hold up the ties and stuff. You were like, hey, give us money. Hey, listen, if I wasn't there, totally reasonable thing to do. They have the credits. They should offload them. They should be done with this war. The New Republic can start fresh. But you were pulling some fast and loose moves out there, Banshee, and I think maybe you weren't thinking about us when you were doing them. That's all. That's all. And again, I'm just saying that I kind of need a moment to myself over here in the stinky hallway to kind of decompress after something like that.
Okay, well, it was a good call, Dio. Yeah, let's see you in the gym in a bit then.
Yeah, I think Banshee doesn't say anything. Like, stands up and throws an arm around Hopper then and puts like a huge smile on us. Yeah, catch us in a minute, man. We're gonna go get more bottles.
Perfect. Oh, I love that. Great. That's good news. Okay. I'll be right there. I just gotta let it out,
Is that cut? Anybody else got anything to say more in that scene?
Well, let's see. Let's double check with our questions. I feel like he was the star serving as lookout or as serving as looking for advice, shoulder cry on a distraction, rebound distraction. Who notices the star's involvement? Everybody. Is their response a good idea to cause even more strife? I don't know. I feel like we hit those. You wouldn't feel like
Yeah, I
there
think
anything else?
time will tell, I think, whether their response was a good idea or not.
Okay. I'm gonna do it.
Do we get a picture at the end of that scene of the results? Like, did Ghost One was trying to get, I think, trying to get Banshee drummed out?
Oh, grounded. But I given that the General Odex recommended Banshee for the squadron, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere. I suppose I am curious whether we get any sign from Banshee that they've heard Dio particularly, thing about
Oh
whether
yeah.
any of that struck home. The sense I got when he went quiet was that was what was happening.
Oh yeah. I think it does hit, but I think we just see like they're at the thing and he's set up like the drink, and Banshee does a surprising amount. Like, at first it's clear he's kind of showing off. Like, he starts like one-armed push up, like a pull-ups, but then he just like keeps going, and it's almost like he's working out. Sure, yeah, but he's clearly, for anyone who has a psychological sense, and I don't know if that's Hopper. I don't know if Hopper's a keen psychological person here, or Dio when he comes in. This guy is punishing his body. He is hurting himself and pushing himself past what he should to punish himself based on what Dio has said.
I mean, Dio's gauge is 3. That's a pretty thoughtful individual, I think.
Sometimes you gotta let people beat it out of themselves before they come around. Anyways, Hopper. Oh man, I can't drink like this anymore. Let's go get chili, huh? Banshee, you want the chili, or are you gonna keep? I mean, you won, bud.
I think he just like goes back up, wraps his lips around the bottle, and keeps going.
Right. I'll bring you some chili when I'm wrapping up. All right. I'm taking my bottle though. Hopper, you know what? We're taking yours too. All right, we'll bring some chili back for you, Banshee.
Yeah.
Actually, he goes.
Yeah, just
to
take
do
it easy, Banshee.
He goes to do another one-arm pull-up, and using the other arm gives you a thumbs up.
I give 4 thumbs up. All right.
You can't beat that.
Literally can't beat that. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for that follow on. I really wanted to see that. So that's good stuff. Cool. Looking at time, we're gonna take our first break. All right, we're back, and now we're gonna jump into our second second and final R&R scene. Now I say second and final because it's supposed to from the write up 1 to 2 scenes per PC. So I'd love it if Ghost One could be involved. And Alan fell on the sword of Rich being lazy and directed that scene. So that means that there's a different director. Is anyone burning for it, or shall we go by the way that the dice were supposed to decide it? Anyone excited?
I've got a good idea.
Cool. Paul, you are the director.
I quite like the idea of tough mudders. The unit has been assigned to infantry training to prepare you for survival behind enemy lines if you're ever shot down. How are you? So the question I'd really like to hear answered is, what unexpected training disaster is the unit embroiled in? So I think the scene. So it's open to all, but clearly R is a B Ghost One. I think the scene is you are hurtling over the salt or sand. Have we decided? Is it salt or sand or sandy salt? I don't know.
It's sand.
It's sand, and you are flying in a old. Let me just get it on. You are flying in an really old and battered Republic AAT gunship with a nice open sides, and you're sort of skimming the sand, and I think we see a let's have a Tuscan Raider. I don't know if they really are here or not, but let's have some here. He pops up over a sand dune and lets off a SAM missile, which streaks behind your LAAT gunship and pops it in the derriere, and you start to go down. So anybody else want to be on? It won't just be so there'll be NPCs if nobody wants to bring their PC.
I mean, can I please save Ghost One? Because that's just the most fitting thing ever.
Well, he's the star, so alas, we can't flip it around. He's got to be the hero of the moment.
So just so I'm clear, I like the scene. This is not from your scene list. You have come up with a scene on your own, correct?
Well, it sort of is on the scene list. So it does say what unexpected training disaster is in the unit embroiled. Well, I really want to know how Ghost One's what he wants to do to get out and back to base. That's what I'm interested in finding out. So I've set the scene. You know,
it would just help me if I was reading the same thing you're reading, Paul.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Tough Mudder.
Where's that? I'm looking at the R&R phase tab.
Yeah, I'm looking at scene list in each R&R phase.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the
Where's
PDF of the actual game?
I am looking at the PDF.
Oh,
Should I
dear
be looking
Lord, I
somewhere?
was losing my mind. You're talking about here, right? Like this one?
Paul's going deep.
Yeah.
Paul's got
Right.
stuff, man.
Okay.
Okay.
I will drop that into our keeper. No problems. I was so confused, but now I understand what's up. And you went extra in going into the PDF, I have to say. Bravo.
I thought you're right. I mean, it's a really good cheap game, so I thought let's buy it because it's enjoyable. So yeah, I did a little bit of reading, not too much. It's a great game. So yeah, I like the sound of Tough Mud because you know you can be in some sort of desert fashion of the Endor kit. Maybe I don't know what
Okay. Okay. No,
you know
now
people wear.
I've got something to work with. I see. So the unit has been assigned. I think we all go down. Yeah.
But you are the star at the center of the crisis. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think I'm flying it. I think this is we are passengers being taken to the site. All of
Ooh.
us. And perhaps the general thinks that this will be a team building exercise. So behind enemy lines, and I think if it isn't Tuscan, there must be some indigenous people here who are pissed off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's have one of them pop up a surface to air, and it can do those crazy streaks that we sort of saw in the prequel movies. Missiles never seem to fly very straight in that, so it circles around and bosh straight into the back of the LAA team.
Okay.
Brace for impact, crew. Brace for impact. We're going in.
And this is the Roughnecks training us, I guess. So we're going to go in with a couple of desert trained special forces who are going to be, and I think they have the same view of flyboys that every ground grunt has ever had, which is that we hardly do any work. We have a comfortable job. We sit down all day, and we never get our hands dirty. All of that's done by our engineers. We just get in the plane and we fly it around. And mark pompous descriptions on the side, on the nose of our planes.
Smooth living it's just a good way to be, Ghost One. It's just I take to it down here. Listen, you grunts, you're talented. I have 4 arms. I could hold 4 guns. I could be an asset down here. I think you see, Big Brother. He's taking to it. He's got like the face paint under his eyes, and he's just like I think I could do this. Sitting in a chair ain't for me, but there's something fun to being down here.
And so I think that's who takes to life as a grunt. And this is the last day of the training exercise. So we're being we've had some training and we're being taken to some obscure bit of the country, of the desert, where we're going to be dropped off and then we have to make our own way back. But unfortunately, we go down in flames, away from where we're supposed to be. We don't have, we've got our survival gear and we've got very little else. Who struggles? I'm curious. I think given that Banshee has expressed the desire to be seen to be helping Ghost One here, I think Ghost One's age. So I think what we see is that we're trekking across, Lawrence of Arabia style, across that kind of silhouette of a sand dune, and we see 3 people, and then there's a gap, and there's Ghost One, and Ghost One is thinking about what he can drop.
Let me know how you feel about this. I think we had seen that, and then we watch as Banshee kind of stands still, waits a second for Ghost One to catch up, and then takes a knee with his back facing Ghost One.
Fuck off.
Then at least hand me your pack, old man.
I will hand over some of my pack. What I was thinking of dropping, I will hand to Banshee and say, I'll take it back just give me 30 minutes.
Banshee doesn't reply.
Grudging. And then, go off. I'm curious about Hopper and Dio. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm at risk of directing, but I'm curious what else is going on.
It's another classic production where the star takes over. Oh, I've seen it a million times.
I'm going to mark wounded on my character sheet. There we go. And I think, I mean, on the direct side, I don't really want to be in this too much. And I think you see Hopper keel over, and his flight suit comes to the side, and he's clearly taken a bit of shrapnel.
I'm having is Paul going robot-y for him? Okay.
He is.
In that he's walked for a bit, and he put in the best he could.
And he's gone full frozen.
Yeah.
Dang. We've lost Hopper, everyone.
Yeah, well, he's just dropped unconscious, didn't he?
He did. He was wounded. He stumbles a bit and then falls unconscious. There we go. Good choice.
So Hopper's being carried by some of the special forces grunts who are with us. They are obviously
sorry, I'm because I think this is better if it's just the four of us.
Okay. Yeah. It's a training mission for you
Banshee
guys.
takes him.
Yeah, because we thought the grunts would come with us, and they said, "Oh, we'll just run the exercise from here then." So Banshee is carrying some of my stuff, and Hopper goes down in a heap. Well, certainly Ghost One will step up to put a shoulder under his arm. And call Big Brother over. Call Dio. Come on, let's keep him moving.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, sorry. Dio puts away like two blasters that he's been playing with. He's really. Oh yeah. This is. Hold on. Let me get. Dio's low. He gets right under Hopper and kind of puts him over his shoulder. He's got his forearms kind of, fireman carrying him over his shoulder. He's real squat, but he can hold them up. Yeah. Can someone come up with an obstacle to overcome?
Go on.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, well, his suggestions were a Sarlacc pit or a sandstorm.
What's a Sarlacc pit?
A Sarlacc pit. I'm so glad you asked, Kay. A Sarlacc pit. The Sarlacc, the Great Pit of Carcoon, as it's known on Tatooine. It's basically a giant pit that a worm lives in, and anything that falls into it gets digested over 1,000 years. It's pretty intense. Jabba the Hutt, a notorious gangster on Tatooine, of course, he throws people into it to as an ultimate punishment because he's a sick man.
That's the guy you put Princess Leia in the sexy outfit, right?
That is that guy. Yeah, he's
totally that guy.
He's a rude, crude dude.
Wild.
Yeah. So I think both. I think it's a sandstorm, and this is our first time out in the waste like this. We find what seems to be a divot of cover where the sand isn't penetrating as deeply, and we kind of lay Hopper down amongst the sand. We're catching our breath, and this valley that the sandstorm seems to be blowing over, right? We're kind of separate from it. Sure enough, stuff starts rolling from Ghost One's pack into a hole. Hey, you're losing stuff, boss.
Let me and Banshee will pick up it, get it, like quickly move to grab it before it hits through.
There's something in there. Got a blaster. Ghost One's muted. His tongue tied.
And Ghost One drops in, I think, to his command mode and says, Dio, loop something round Hopper and get to the edge of this thing. Banshee, help pull Hopper up. And I'll push. And so we're doing that. But of course, this leaves Ghost One in the edge of the Sarlacc pit as it's beginning to kind of flow downwards. And he looks up, and the only person on the edge of the pit is Banshee.
Oh
What do
yeah,
you do?
I think Banshee. We've got like, Dio has like gotten Hopper up there, and we watch, and without even kind of thinking, Banshee just like loops the edge of the rope around his own like boot and just jumps into the hole. Yeah, to grab Ghost One.
Two arms outstretched.
Yep.
And there's that, as Ghost One is lying on the sand thinking, well, this is it then. And then in this sand, there's a puff of dust, and what's the look on Banshee's face?
It's just like a big ass smile.
Damn you, Banshee! And I grab the hands, and we get pulled out.
Damn you! You know how heavy all of you are.
Banshee's like, I weigh like nothing.
What I want to see, I'd like to see a roll from Ghost One. So let's have, just at that moment, the general comes over the horizon, either some sort of rescue thing. Eventually some signal will go out from your LAAT. Does the general look like some kind?
Oh, and it's gone completely.
I guess that he wants a
Hopper just
roll of
died.
some kind.
Hopper exploded.
Damn it! Another Sarlacc pit. I think what I think Paul wants is some kind of roll from Ghost One. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like with the general.
Yeah. And what I don't know is whether what I think he wants is a roll with the general, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna defer to the Sky Marshal. How do you think we resolve this, Sky Marshal, as our reserved, assistant director?
Yeah, I guess I am assistant director. I'll just step in here. I'm doing the second unit directing. So, the Sarlacc pit's the second unit thing. The main plot being handled by, the principal actors, which is not you guys. Turns out for the movie, you guys are just like the plucky.
Yeah, we're going to end up on the cutting
like the
room
Pippin and
floor.
Merry, as it were, of the Lord of the Rings saga. So I would love to see, and I know Paul, I'm just stepping in, but feel free to drop in the chat as you try to, your mobile tries to catch up. I'm so sorry you're having trouble. So I think it sounded like you wanted to have Ghost One make some kind of roll.
Yeah, sorry about dropping, folks.
Okay.
So yeah, I always like a roll. It's a role-playing game. If we don't throw dice, we're just telling the story.
You do realize it's ROLE, right? Where you're playing a role of a character.
But you got to roll dice. It's role-playing. So clearly nobody's. I don't want any kind of death or destruction, but does Ghost One look good in front of the rescue in general? As the leader of the crew, or does the general get a different perspective on Ghost One and his team? So yeah,
Ghost One's rolling for how the team will be perceived by the general.
Yeah, does he look as if he's commanding it from where the general's overlooking it? Because the general will save him. So this is not a roll to survive. This is, do you look as if you've got control of the situation, Ghost One? You pick the stat, describe what you want to do, give it to us.
I think this is probably it's probably Gauge. I don't think it's as instinctive as Burn or as rough and ready as Trigger. So I'm thinking this is, can I present the impression? Unless you judge that burn acting on instinct, or maybe it is command instinct, maybe it is burn, in the moment. So I'm going to suggest burn. Yeah.
I think you should roll 2 dice instead of 2
Like it.
dice.
Yeah, fine. Yes. that is a 3 and a 5.
Scar Marshal cutting right to it.
Oh, I'm a dick. I'm a bad audience. I'm sorry.
So
Well,
I
5 is
do
good.
convince. Oh, 5. Yeah, no, complete success. Sorry, I thought that was I my own games, it's always a 6. So
In
yeah,
your wonderful games, which we can find on Gallus Games, you can look on itch.
this was a paid
So,
for endorsement. So
I think the general does see you sort of giving it the, pull that way, folks, because he can't hear you, but I think we see the general, and he turns to his staff. Ghost One, he's got a good control of that situation. Now get me back to base. I'm drying out in the desert. This is not good.
yeah, why did they post him on Calamari to a desert planet? That's just, maybe he didn't do as well in that battle as we thought.
He pissed off somebody. Cool. Are there any questions we still want to hit in the Tough Mudders?
From his lecture, I think it was good. Yeah, we got to see the full leadership potential of Ghost One. So he got the wounded Hopper out of there, and yeah, from my point of view, I think it was a success.
And I think he Ghost One looks at Banshee differently. Maybe they are a team player. Time will tell. I've ticked director and star, which I think means I shouldn't be those again.
Yes.
Fine.
And star should be ticked also by Cody for Big Brother. And director
you,
should be
whoever did that
ticked
for me.
by Wool. Delightful. Excellent work, Paul. You soldiered through tech difficulties and brought to us a very cool and fun scene. Great work, Ghost One and Banshee. I'm doing like mini stars in the middle of our thing. It's good stuff. Sweet. So that is R&R. There are no mechanical rewards for R&R. You just do stuff.
I think you might be able to trigger archetype XP based off.
Oh,
of it.
you're right. You're right.
Those.
That is the mechanical reward. So let's adjudicate that and do that. So let's take a look at your archetype. So the archetype XP is down on rows 76 through 81. And let's go through that right now. So Paul, for Hopper in the last 2 scenes, both scenes, did you hit any of your archetype EXP triggers? Again, reminder, I prefer XP, but this game says EXP and I'm going for it. So I'm calling it EXP.
I don't think I really enjoyed the scenes, but yeah, I didn't lean into those. I should have taken a look, but yeah, no, I don't think I triggered it, and that's fine. I really enjoyed the scenes.
Were you a meanest SOB possibly? Like the whole we're gonna go work out? I could see a little bit of that. You played a bit of that archetype.
Okay, I'll take one for that. You're a generous Sky Marshal.
Twist your arm. Okay, awesome. So mark yourself an XP. Great. For Ghost One, remembering both scenes, did you hit any of your archetype EXP triggers?
The only one I think reasonably was when you're in charge and everyone knows it, because the general, even if it's not true, gets that perception. But again, it never occurred to me to check on that list, but I will try to do that next time.
I should have reminded folks and thought of it myself. Cool. All right, Banshee.
Like you have enough plates to spin in this game.
I do have a good number of plates, and they are spinning often. What about you, Banshee? Any of those archetype EXP triggers hit?
I think I might. When you overcome overwhelming odds with flair and style, I think jumping into a Sarlacc pit with a piece of rope tied around my foot to grab my ghost ones.
That's some style. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Points for style. Points for style.
When you are the fastest and everyone knows it, I think I was like the quickest and continual fastest with them pull-ups. Or that might have been a magnificent and unmissable display, perhaps. Something.
What are the other? I could see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then Big Brother, any EXP archetype triggers that you hit?
I don't know. I would say it solved the problem with compromise in the first
Yeah, I was
scene.
about to say, I definitely think you compromised with the group in the first scene.
And then, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to highlight. I think you absorb some consequences for a friend or ally.
In
the first scene?
Yeah, in that first scene, I think some of the stuff you said was things that it sounded like you maybe overheard from Ghost One, but delivered yourself to Banshee.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm into that.
I think that whole scene, that whole first scene, was really about Big Brother playing a pivotal role and nobody knowing that he's protecting.
Yeah, absolutely. Because none of them end up knowing about that argument.
All right, you guys, twist my forearms. You're right.
Just think, if only 4 more game sessions, you'll have an advance. That was a joke in case expense there. There we go. Sweet. That's good. Okay. So what I'd like to do is, there are 3 distinct phases of Afterburner. By the way, do you guys just say Afterburner, or do you think we should like denote that there are 2 backslashes after burner? Like, should we do a couple hitches or something?
Gotta be the second one, after burner.
Oh, and actually, you're 100% there, Kay. It's you hit a different pitch as after burner.
Oh, okay.
Burner.
3 distinct phases in Afterburner. There is, of course, the LiDAR when we're up in combat, the R&R, which we just resolved, and then it's supposed to circle straight around into the pre-flight briefing phase. This is where the sortie is laid out, your objectives, any terrain or obstacles, and then it says FUBARs, complications or elements working in the enemy's favor, challenges for your pilots to overcome. Sorry, I just saw the note from Cody, and that was very funny. So I'm going to drop these into our chat so we have a chance to see those, because I have an idea. I was going to go with a thing out of the Operation Snowblind, but it really feels like the mission for 3rd session. So this is a mission with different objectives, which is one of the wishes that we had. And let's kick it off. The 4 of you, Ghost Squadron. After impressing the general, you are called into the general's office, and the general's office is it's deep inside the base. There is actually a clean room from the hall it's just recently been installed, and there's a droid there. The droid's entire job is to make sure that no sand gets in to the general's office / quarters. The briefing room is actually in his, effectively hermetically sealed. Like, they pipe air in, and there are a number of misters. So it's kind of, I hope this word isn't too bad, but it really does. It's moist. It's a moist room. It's damp. It is humid. It is not hot. It's a cold kind of but it's definitely cooler than the others. And the droid is a protocol droid. I think it's kind of femme coded. I'm imagining. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I will do a good job of trying to describe this because I was about to reference a prequel droid from the diner. But it's I can't even remember what that droid designation is, but imagine a very female coded protocol droid. Oh, diner droid. Who is it? Flo? Is it Flo? Is it literally called
Yeah.
Flo? Oh my god, that is the dorkiest thing. Delightful. So it is called Flo. That's great. So imagine not on a wheel. Flo has been redesigned to have functioning legs, but hopefully you can see this. This is what the general design of this Flo droid is. It was a servant styled droid or server droid in the old Republic, but evidently they got it cheap and did some reconditioning. The Flo picture is just so dorky. I'm so sorry. I'm owning it though. I'm stopping the apologies. It is what it is. So the Flo droid, you guys come in. You know the protocol. You can wear some extra clothing if you feel like you're going to be cold in front of the general, but Flo is supposed to, like, one of her hands like sucks in, and then there's a little vacuum attachment, and she has to go over you with the vacuum attachment. Greetings, gentle beings. Please allow me to process part of the clean room. How does Banshee react to Flo and her cleaning tactics?
I think he just kind of like looks at her and is like, this is inherently terrible and sexist.
Which part?
Just her everything.
The whole design, just
The
all
whole
the bits.
design, the way she speaks, her whole design. And Banshee just, it's just like, wow. This is a fucking wow. Just lets her do her thing. I think he's not wearing extra clothing. If anything, he's decided to wear less to make it easier.
Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, sorry, this is not her asking, but Rich, the Sky Marshal, asking. Usually, pilots are some kind of officer. Do you imagine that Banshee is like a second lieutenant, a first lieutenant? And sorry, help me out, anyone who's more of a military nerd than I am. You become a second lieutenant, then you rise to first lieutenant, if I remember correctly. Okay, cool. Yes, lieutenant junior grade or a full lieutenant for Banshee. What do you think?
Is none an option?
No, you're in the military.
Okay,
You
like I
have a
wasn't
rank.
sure if like he could have been like offshoot recruited or not, or if like he is. So then here's a question, because I don't know much about military. So he would never go out of, I guess, actually, here's an with I guess higher up because that gets more pay. Sorry, I'm answering my own questions in my head. I think higher up because that gets more pay. And that's like one of his main objectives is to get as much money as possible to just send that shit right home.
Okay.
Like he does risky shit to get money to send home.
Okay. So you've gotten several battlefield promotions by doing risky shit.
Yes.
And yep, there we go. That sounds great to me. So junior, so you're full lieutenant, Lieutenant Banshee. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Banshee, for your acquiescence.
Creepy.
And I think at that stage, as the droid approaches Hopper, I think he'll give it a massive shove, and because it's on one central wheel, I think it sort of falls backwards and then manages to right itself, and I sort of push it to the side. Go suck somewhere else, droid. Get away from me.
Of course, Ghost One is in full dress. Because this is an official meeting. And so I put my arm around Hopper and say, look, Hopper, there are things that you have to do in the military. You know that, and I know that.
You know I
So
don't like
just
droids. Apart from
maintain an,
APPO.
maintain an even strain and let the droid do its work.
You know I don't like droids.
I know you don't like droids, but
Tell
that
you
doesn't
what.
matter, does it?
I'll leave
The
my jacket
generals on the
outside.
other side. That works for me, Hopper. That works for me.
And I'll toss my jacket out the door. Go and clean it, droid.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. I will be happy to clean after I make sure that everyone follows the clean room protocol. And then,
Gets worse the more she talks.
and
Wait,
how does Big Brother react to Flow 09?
Oh,
or
Big
also
Brother-
known as Flow Rida?
Flow Rida, yeah.
Yeah,
Of
okay,
course.
that was bad. I regretted it as soon as it left my mouth.
Big Brother, he's a little bit of a furry guy, so he appreciates the air pressure and the vacuum. He treats it as if he's hopping in the fresher, So he comes and he's like, "Oh, don't yet get under that float. There's a couple arms back there. Yeah, make sure it's all clear." It's I don't see what the big deal is. It's just like having a big body size blow dryer. I love it. All right, okay, thank you, Flo. And then he just walks in.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So the four of you enter into the general's quarters. You see that one of the other pilots on base, Lieutenant Zay Versio, is there. She's standing at attention. She's wearing just a pair of I've heard British people say khaki sometimes for khaki. Is that khaki? Khakis. She's wearing a pair of khakis.
Khaki, Private, put your khakis on.
There we go. She's wearing khakis and a flight jacket, and you can see that she's been here for a little bit because it's like just moisture kind of dripping down her chin. And there is the general. We have a picture for General Shesh Odux or Shes Odux. Thank you very much, Cody, for taking care of that for us. He is seated, but he does acknowledge your presence. You guys do your normal salutes. I assume Banshee follows the group.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like everyone snaps off a nice salute, and then Banshee follows.
And deck 10, hunt.
Love it. Good stuff. At ease. Well, thank you for coming. We have a mission for you. You'll be working with Lieutenant Versio. I'm going to say she's junior grade just because it'll be fun to have like a bit of some difference in her ranking. Second Lieutenant Versio will be our under your command. We have successfully gathered enough Rhydonium to attempt a transport to get it back to Republic space. However, we believe after the incursion that nearly took place, that you and the rest of your squadron fended off, that the Imperials are lying in wait. Oh, this will be an escort mission for your Ghost Squadron. Your objective is to accompany Versio and the medium-class transport that she will be piloting. You need to escort her out of what is known as Warlord Zinja's empire. We have concerns about the current hyperspace lanes, so we are going to be taking an alternate route. You will escort her until she is able to come clear enough to plot an astrogation course to get herself and the Rhydonium out of danger. Keep in mind that there is an asteroid field just outside of Aberfar. That is where I expect that there could be bogies or bandits lying in wait. And then I will throw out, are there any other foobars that people think might be present in this dangerous mission? Very dangerous because you're on it. And you guys are awesome and amazing.
Can I target this at UK? Because you haven't got any of that contribution sequence ticked yet. So let's,
Yeah.
shall we lean in your direction?
Yeah, I have an idea that fits into one of my my archetype XP triggers that I also think is just ridiculous and makes sense, which is Second Lieutenant Zay Versio is my ex.
Awesome.
It did not end well.
It did not end well. And did you end it or did Zay end it?
So, I mean, who knows? Who knows how that works? We never said the word exclusive as things get thrown at Banshee.
Amazing. That's great. So you, Banshee, and Versio are exes. That's great. By the way, Zay does not have a canonically, I didn't see where she has a call sign. So it would be amusing to me if someone during this mission assigns her a call sign. That's just putting that out there. That's not an objective. That's just a thing that would amuse me.
What is that show that I see the meme of all the time? I'm Eagle One. You're been there, done that. You're wish I was there. If it had to be a guy, and then Eagle Two. I will find this meme for people.
Yep, find it for us. Cool. So that is the objective. Do you have any questions for the general?
So just so because the rule section that we've got, it's a bit unclear about exactly how we collaborate to the details of the mission they're about to fly, establishing its objectives, enemies, intricacies, terrain, possible blah 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 blah. I think we've got a dramatic circumstance sitting on the table, given the former relationship between Banshee and Verso.
We do.
So we've got an objective, which is to get Verso to a particular location. Yeah. Enemies. Is this something we can describe? Because I mean, it has to be our recurring nemesis, doesn't it?
It has to be a recurring nemesis.
Oh, it's got to be Lan.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds great.
So that's my contribution. I want a recurring nemesis.
It's happening.
Only this time he comes armed for bear.
Oh man. Space bears. No. Sorry, it's too silly. Good. Is there anything more we think we need to add? Awesome.
In the terrain field, we have asteroids, right? Asteroids are in play. Okay. Yeah. We got terrain, we got food bars, we got objectives.
Sweet. Now, as a reminder to the players, your characters are well aware of this. Rhydonium is highly explosive. If this medium class transport takes enough hits, it will explode. Yes. And I will be putting that out in front. We will have a clock there for medium class transport exploding. And I think because I've just pulled up a spaceship name generator that we are going to call this This is dorky. It's great. Aboard the Mustafar Colossus. Sweet. Good. So here we go. So we're gonna jump in. Yes.
I think if this is the mission briefing, I am going to look Banshee in the eye and say, "Do not take a nuke. We cannot have a nuke in the same
No,
area
this
of
is a
space."
non-nuke mission. The nukes can stay at home.
I'm pleased you see it that way.
Oh, someone's already added Banshee's X to say. Thank you very much. As you guys are heading out after receiving the mission, Zay waits a few beats for Banshee to leave first. And Flow 09 is waiting for you, Hopper, in the clean room. Here you go, Master Hopper. And she has your jacket. It looks like bling, looks so clean. I can't hear Paul, but I could see the expression. He is not pleased. Amazing. So the ship in question, I kind of love this ship. I don't know if everyone remembers it, but the clamshell designed GR-75 medium transport.
Still don't like it. But you did a good job.
We have no idea. You don't need that that robotic voice modifier you've got attached to your computer, Rich. You just need to get Paul's Wi-Fi connection.
Oh man. Oh, that's so mean, but it's true. Let's talk real quick about which designations. We'll buy some time here. Let's talk about which, not designations, but which configurations, that's the word I was looking for, you choose for this particular mission. Does anyone have, I'm going for this build out of my X-Wing?
Well,
I don't plan
I
to
did
change
have-
mine.
I had a thought, so long as I was curious if it would affect it or not. I was going to use the support again with the idea that would I be able to heal the transport? Would that be a feature of that?
For sure.
Perfect. Then I'm rocking the same loadout.
Good loadout. Awesome. We're talking loadouts, Paul. That's it. We have only
What ships have people picked?
only one choice so far. Alan, it sounded like you may have
Superiority.
had a choice. What were you?
Yeah,
what were you
I'd like
leaning
to
towards?
I'd like to stick with superiority if I can.
Okay. I mean, you're the
Not
commander.
least because of exactly.
Cool. Banshee, what config are you going for?
I think I'm debating between either if I want to stick with stealth or if I want to run with interceptor or assault.
Okay. Keep
What do we
thinking.
have?
Paul, where do you want to go with your configuration?
I'm going to go with a bomber.
Wild. It does have
I like
pretty
the idea
heavy
of bomb.
damage with primary weapons, so that's good. All right, so I'm deselecting for you, Paul, the interceptor. I'll deselect that.
Yes. Thank you all.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay. Would you like any? Do you want to rely on your commanding officer to choose for you your designation, your
Yeah.
configuration?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, commanding officer, where are you putting me in?
Interceptor. Let's see
Interceptor?
this ace fly.
Okay. So I think we jump ahead, you guys in the hangar, and the engineers are all running around making the final checks on things. And I think Commander Edge Antigua, Lieutenant Versio, she's got her X-Wing pilot helmet under her arm, and she comes over and says, Commander, may I speak with you for just a moment, sir?
Of course, Lieutenant.
She steps away and says, I understand that there were some problems with the last mission. Banshee dropped a nuke.
You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. Banshee will have a different role in this mission. I will be using Banshee to intercept any bogeys that come within striking distance of you, and he will not be packing any nukes. Your cargo is too fragile for that.
Agreed. Thank you very much, sir.
Be reassured, Lieutenant. We'll make sure you get where you need to go.
Snaps off a salute, and then she's gonna march right towards her the little gangway that goes up into the Mustafar Colossus. Cool. So I understand there's a tech issue. Let's take a look. Kay, you're having some problems with the zeros not showing up. What are we talking about?
I think I broke the details description under secondary weapon.
Oh, yeah, you probably deleted it. That's okay. I will help you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's very fragile. I should have put more permissions on it. Oh, it's in A. Son of a gun. Hold on. All right. Let's see. It should be looking off CH instead of CE. Boom. There you go. Fixed.
Look at that. You came here for a Star Wars RPG. You're going to get Google Sheets lessons too? Wow. It's just getting their money's worth is all I'm saying.
That is all you're saying. Awesome. Let's hop on to the LiDAR grid. Now,
Unfortunately, this is where it's 12, so I gotta skedaddle.
Oh, you gotta go? Okay, cool. Thank you so much for
super
playing with
fun. I
us.
heart you all. I will be back next week for shenanigans.
Have a good one, Kay.
Cool. Yeah, we were aware of that. This actually works out really well. In fact, let's take our last break. We'll take like 5, and then we'll jump into the LiDAR grid stuff, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, it appears Pulse Tech is working with him today, and we may like stop a little bit short if we have significant tech issues with one third of our player crew. We are jumping into the LiDAR grid. So, per the rules, the furball is centered around the Mustafar Colossus. I'm going to write this down to the side just so we can all remember. That is the Mustafar Colossus. She is right here in the middle. You guys take off from Abafar. You head through space, and this fight begins as you you come near the asteroid field. Now, Zay Versio, Lieutenant Versio, Second Lieutenant Versio, she is going to pilot the ship around the asteroid field. Once she gets clear of the asteroid field, if we take a look here at our Zinja's Empire, M14 is where Abafar is. So really, once you get clear of this asteroid field, the hope is that she'll be on the other side of things and can jump to hyperspace. So, with that in mind, Rich is going to go and grab a clock. And we're going to call this the 6-tick clock of
The
free.
6-tick clock of death.
That's
So
quite the
basically-
opposite, actually. Free to jump. And then this is the other clock. Which
But
is
Rich, that one only has 4 ticks. You can't do that.
There's the 4-tick clock for the ship blows up. Here, we'll just so the MC blows up, not the Master of Ceremonies, but the Mustafar Colossus. Here, we'll just say MC. All right, so there are our clocks. You guys are skirting along the asteroid field. The three of you, and also you do have Banshee with you, are flying in formation. Now, Ghost One, is it like 2 up front, 2 behind? How do you have the Ghost Squadron arrayed around the Colossus?
Hey, Ghost One, your comms are blocked. I don't hear you. I think you're jammed.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, get on the right channel, big brother. So
Yeah,
if
you're
I'm
right. It's my fault, boss. It's my fault.
So the Mustafar is in the middle. What I would suggest is that we kind of nominally place Banshee as just close support, and you maybe do some magic to make that at least part of MC's defense.
They're bickering on a private channel.
Yeah. And then I think 2 behind and 1 in front.
Sounds good. So do you guys want to start in the danger zone?
Yeah, that's what I've got in mind.
Sounds good.
So
Cool.
that we're hopefully a barrier between whatever's incoming.
That sounds like a plan. As you guys are headed through space, passing by the asteroid, you see these humongous asteroids. One crashes into another and explodes. Of course, because Rich can't not make this joke every time there's an asteroid field involved. One of them is actually a potato, but you can only figure it out if you pause the Blu-ray. I always make that joke, and I have no shame about it. Really, it's kind of sad. So, guys are heading past the asteroid field, and Versio dares to come over the comms and say, I've got a good feeling about this, sir. And that is when, coming out of hyperspace, is a pair of Gazanti cruisers, and they will be dropping a bunch of TIE fighters into visual range. So they're moving into visual range at the outset of things.
Big brother, this is Ghost One. Remember, your priority is to make sure that the Mustafar Colossus does not blow up.
I second that.
Roger Ghost One.
I second that. I second that.
Hopper, I guess it's you and I to screen those TIE.
Roger Ghost One, although please be aware of my bomber's loadout.
Yeah, why did I let you come in a bomber? I assumed you had some rationale for that choice, Hopper.
Yeah, mines. I'm carrying a heavy loadout of mines.
Well, can you not seed an area of mines to at least maybe keep them out of 1 quadrant of the attack of the LiDAR?
I've got a lot of mines. So yeah, that's no hassle. I'll try and deal with the do not enter a minefield area though. Warning
Well,
to all pilots: do not
exactly.
enter a minefield area.
Yeah, yeah. What was that about? No area effect weapons? Okay, okay. Do what you can.
Will do.
So, as a reminder, everyone, your ship starts with full integrity, and the ship has its own starting SA. So, unless you have some kind of talent that adds to that, you'll need to adjust to the thing. Also, as a reminder, Hopper is wounded. So, what is that? Is that a thing where Hopper, you're kind of bleeding, but you've patched it up, and when it's narratively
Yeah.
interesting or terrible?
Yeah, I think I've got like a body brace and quite a wide bandage around my midriff. And you can see I put some extra padding on the seat of the staff, the X-wing bomber configuration. Yeah, I think you see Hopper sort of like wincing quite a bit anytime he pulls a high G turn. Not that I think I've ever seen anybody in Star Wars pull a high G. Yeah, maybe it is a Y-wing. I don't mind if it is a Y-wing. It looks a bit like a Y-wing. We can roll with whatever. I'm happy on any front, Rich. But yeah, definitely you can see every time he pulls a heavy turn, he grimaces. That hurts.
As long as you can reach that mine deployment button, Hopper, you're fine.
I'm sure I can, or whatever droid they've got replacing APPO. That thing needs to do its hell job.
Awesome. Okay. So how did we're going to start at the SM turn. Okay. Yeah. So we have rules. Let's go through these rules for the turn breakdown. On the players. First, ending effects to cease starting next turn. Reactor management. Let's start with Big Brother. You can lead the way because you like this the most. Tell us about how you are you selecting a system to divert power from and a system to shunt power to?
Yeah, of course. Big Brother is going to divert. He's going to divert from his shields. Actually, no. Yes. He's going to divert from his shields, and he's going to shunt into his afterburners. While this first batch of ties are approaching, he wants to be ready to move in and then be able to move out to help the furball, or not the furball, help the Mustafar Colossus should it arise. So he wants to be kind of guns ready to take out any ties that get close before Hopper has the chance to lay his mines.
Amazing. So then you've done reactor management. Let's go ahead and have you go in any order. You can move your fighter to an adjacent range band on the LiDAR grid or perform a maneuver. Take an action, which is requiring a die roll with one of your attributes, and spend as much SA as you would like. What would you like to do?
So I'm going to take my one kind of free movement into an adjacent band. That will move me into Hopper's danger zone. I'll then move using my afterburners free movement for an adjacent range band. I'll move into the visual with these 4 ties. Oh, I did the thing wrong where I clicked it. All right, there we go. Oh no. There we go. So I'll move into that range, and then I'll take my action, which will be to fire on one of the ties. My secondary weapon, when I fire my primary weapon, I also have an auto turret that will shoot at a different bandit as long as they're in the same range as me. So I'll be firing just my standard weapon, range 0, 1 harm.
That's amazing. I love it. And let's see how this goes. So you are firing. So let's have you. I don't think you're doing it with trigger though, unless you're crazy. Because your trigger is
Well,
0?
I thought trigger was always shooting, so that could be me on that one. My bad.
Maybe it is. But I thought we defined how you were doing it. It was more like what's the flair or style, but Maybe.
Oh, I see. Sure. Then in that case, I think it's gauge, right? Technical acumen, complex systems. I'm maneuvering myself to get right up and fire. You know, like I'm in that.
Sounds
If we want to
awesome.
pretend. Uh,
I think it's pretty
well,
clear that even though it's called trigger, it to me it doesn't sound like this is what you use to always fire. It's like
yeah, it
it
looks like
makes
it's not.
sense, but it could
Yeah,
be other
it says very
factors.
clearly each one of them has a additional effect when you use them for firing your weapon. So it seems like it really is dependent. So if I'm rolling gauge, I actually have 4 dice because I have a +1 from my ship bonus with my support class fighter. So I'm firing on a couple of ties. Let's roll these dice. Oh my god, 1, 2, 3, and a 4. So I'm taking
Okay.
a success with a consequence.
Success with a consequence. That's it. The tally, a success and a consequence. That is delightful. Sweet. So, what's your damage in a 0 range with this weapon you've deployed?
It is 1.
Okay. So, 1 harm is enough. So, again, from feedback from last, all TIE fighters have 2 harm. They have no shields. 1 harm hurts them a lot, but they will survive. So we will have sorry, need to jump to lidar grid, and bogey 1 has 1 harm, and that's we'll just put a purple right there to indicate that's the guy. So you fire, and I think it hits one of the panes, right? And a bunch of sparks come off of it, and whoa, 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 and it which makes that weird squidgy noise. You also had a auto turret that you can
That's
use.
right. I have, an auto turret. Whenever I fire my primary weapon, I deal 1 harm to a different bandit at range 0 plus 360. So it can target a tailing enemy as well.
Okay, awesome. So you're dealing 1 harm. It just happens, right?
Yep.
At range 0. So your range 0 is another 1, and it is a different. It is pretty clear this is a different one. So we'll just say bogey 2 takes 1 harm as well.
Love it.
And we will drop that right in here. We'll just stick those 2 near each other. The other one was flying in formation. I think the blaster bolt hits the attachment to one of the other panes, and it starts this thing has lost a lot of its mobility and flexibility, and that is not good for it. So that is wonderful. Let's go to our next player before we run out of time. So let's go to Hopper. Can you hear us, Paul?
Yep, all good.
Excellent. Let's talk reactor management. Do you want to shunt and divert any power?
Yes, I would like to divert my primary weapons. You can't fire secondary and primary, can you? Or can you? I don't know.
You can if so you only get 1 roll if you've got some like a talent that allows you to fire secondary weapons.
No, well, I'll stick with mutual. I'll divert weapons, and I'll divert that into shields. Oh no, because I want to move after. Can I deploy mines and then move, or would I need afterburners to do that?
That is a great question. So
You
reactor
can
management.
you can move 1. You don't have to move first, so you could lay them
Okay,
down
yeah,
where they
that's
are
fine.
now.
So I'll shove it in shields, and then flick into the LiDAR grid. I'm going to have to stress you slightly here, Rich. You couldn't come up with a mine counter, could you?
I can. So you want to have a little counter that displays where the mines are?
Yeah, I have quite a few mines, but I would like to deploy 1 mine in the danger zone that I was in.
Okay, I can't help myself. And so give me a moment I am finding a picture of a mine from the game Minesweeper.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Because again, I cannot help myself. Okay, so this looks good. This will work. Oh, it's an ICO. I don't know if I can even do that. Let's find out. How many mines are you dropping?
I'm only dropping one because they're area effect mines, so I don't really know how the mechanics of two in a zone. So I'll just drop one, and then they should deal with ties anyway. I think they're good enough.
Okay, sounds good. And we'll put Hopper will put a little mine over there by you. There we go. Minesweeper mine. Mine in field. That's actually a real good looking mine. Thank you, Google. Sweet. So you have dropped a mine.
Yeah, and I think what we sort of see is these mine pods opening on the back of the. Let's have the Y-wing. Yeah, let's have a Y-wing. It looks like the icon. And these sort of droid robotic mines sort of clamshell up as they're deployed out of the back of this Y-wing, and then you suddenly see a burst of afterburner energy. The afterburners light up, and the Y-wing accelerates way past these mines, leaving them sort of ticking away in space as I afterburner into the danger zone to the right. Now, if somebody could move me, because I don't think my PC is actually online currently, that's not over cellular. So
Where
if
do you want
somebody
to
could
go?
move my blue icon to the danger zone to the right, please.
Just to be clear, have you dropped that mine in the same area currently occupied by Big Brother, or the danger zone you were in?
Danger zone, please.
I'll move
Okay.
it. There you go.
Oh, thank you, Alan. I really appreciate that. Excellent.
It now
Great
genuinely
stuff.
is a danger zone.
It is. It's
It is.
right into.
And I can't help it. They're on the highway to the danger zone.
Do it. That's great. All the puns. Excellent. Do you want to spend any more SA or take any other actions?
No, I've got my shields extra charged. My primary weapons are depowered, and I'm in a different danger zone. I'm hoping Ghost One is not going to just sit at the back. He's going to come down into that danger zone and have a bit of an assist.
All right, then that goes right to you, Ghost One. What would you like to do? Do you, let's talk reactor management first.
Yeah. I don't think I need reactor. I have to do reactor manager first, don't I? Yes.
You
Okay.
do.
Well, I think what I will do then. Let's try this. I think I can move for nothing into the danger zone, and then I can fire at those ties.
Oh, that sounds
think.
delightful.
Because that is range
1.
1 exactly. Okay. Oh well, in fact, in that case, I can stay back there because
Yeah,
I have got
yeah.
I've got the same effectiveness at. Oh, sorry, 0. No, I can't. Sorry, I thought I had range 1 and 2. I've got range 0 and 1. I beg your pardon.
Correct.
Okay. So I will come to there and fire on the ties. Unleash my primary weapon. Oh no,
Amazing.
no, hang on. I think it is more effective for me to unleash a cruise missile at one of them.
Delightful. So that's your secondary weapon, and it's got a
Uh,
lock on, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, I don't know what lock on does.
If you
but
roll
I'm hoping.
gauge to attack,
Yeah,
a 1 is no joy, a 2 to 4 is a tally, and a 5 to 6 is a hit. So
I
it
will
means
roll.
only on a 1 would you fail.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to roll 2d6 with the cruise missile.
Oh, that is definitely going to destroy any tie you hit with it. Good luck.
Exactly. So that's a 4 and a 2.
Okay, I think with a 4 and a 2, that means they're both the same, which is a tally. The tally, as we recall, is the success and a consequence. And the consequence is that
Take
yeah,
harm?
pardon?
Take harm?
I think harm sounds fair. Yeah. I'll let you take harm. Yeah, let's take harm. So these guys are little bandits, and they do.
Pew, pew, pew,
Yeah,
pew.
their pewing does a total of. I gotta find it. Sorry. Something about this PDF is really locked down, and I don't love it, and I have trouble. It's a shrieker. You are range. Oh, you stayed back to. So they are range 1, so they only do 1 harm to you. So you lose 1 integrity.
Okay.
As this one's firing long red laser bolts at you as the cruise missile comes close, and then we do the shot right behind the pilot as he's looking at the missile coming close, and he raises his hands up and screams, and then there's an explosion in space, which we would never hear, but we did.
And I splashed another bandit.
You did. Please make sure you mark that you splashed a bandit. And are there any SA or other actions you would like to take?
Stellar Slip. Switch range bands with ally who's in an adjacent band. No, I don't have an ally in an adjacent band, so there's no point trying that. Okay, done.
All right. So at the beginning of the turn for the SM, on the SA's turn, I do need to roll for rally. So I need to roll a d6 because you did take out Splash 1 Bandit. Here is the rally. 3. Okay, on a 3, it is 1 SA. You, Ghost 1, get to determine who gets an SA back. SA situational awareness, that's the points you use to fuel some of your abilities.
Has anyone spent one?
No.
No, I think we're all cool at the minute.
Can
on
we
SA.
go over max, Rich?
Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
I
I was
don't
curious about
know.
that last week, but
I don't know, and I think I'm going to say sure. Let's try it that way. So if you want somebody to overclock their SA, you can determine it. Ghost 1.
Let's see, SA 4 and 3 and 4. Well, I will overclock then. I'll go to 4. There you go.
Okay, so I am going to activate a number of bandits equal to the number of players. I will be activating. These guys are not going to activate because they're very ineffective, being almost dead. These guys are going to approach on Big Brother because they can do a pretty good amount of harm to Big Brother.
no.
I know, it's sad. And this guy, you hear crackling over the comms, Captain Lance, as he says, "You rebel scum thought that you would be able to transport this Rhydonium? Well, I'm going to blow it into space." And he is launching he's going to attempt to basically lock on to Furball and launch a missile from his Gazanti cruiser. It says he's got to load out with a cruise missile, and his plan is to fire upon the Furball. So I don't roll dice. So what we do instead, sorry, I keep clicking around, but I click the wrong things, is that the Mustafar Colossus is now spiked. The cruise missile, let's take a look. Yes, it is coming after him, and our cruise missile does 3 harm. That will be 3 ticks on the clock if after the end of next round, or my turn next round, if nothing has been done about it. Now, let's go ahead and resolve these 2 TIE fighters, and they are little shriekers, range 0. They come in 2 strafing. Well, it's not strafing run by the mechanics, but they come at you, Big Brother, and they're firing like mad. They're the black, inky black of space is filled with red lasers, and 4 damage is done to you. Yeah, that's tenacious, but they are trying to just take you out.
Okay,
What?
and there's nothing. We take the damage. There's no maneuver rolls to avoid it, harm, or anything like that. It just applies to our shields and then integrity. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. So
Shields and then integrity.
my shields are 1, but I had diverted my shields down to 0. So I take 4 damage to my integrity.
Amazing. And I say amazing because I'm excited about it, because I want to see you go through a cheat death track. But we'll see how that goes. And that's the end of my turn. It was pretty quick. Not so bad.
Yeah, that's what we like.
Quick question on shields, Rich.
Yes.
If you look at the assault craft, it's got one of its picks is shields are only depleted on a roll of 1 to 2. So what is shield depletion?
That's a
Because there
great
it says
question.
it's on a roll.
Yes. So your shield will eat up damage. But then there is a roll to see if the shields will come back or not. And
Okay.
that tick means that they're more reliable.
They're more reliable. Okay, so there's a roll when your shields hit 0 and you want them back online. There's a roll to do to switch those buttons. Do whatever.
Yeah, whenever shields are used to deflect any harm, the player rolls a d6. On a 1 to 3, their shields are depleted, and you'll need to do something to restore them.
Sweet. Thank you.
I'm going to drop that rule. Oh, right there where I already did. Thanks, past me. Cool. So we are now to player's turn. There was only already the rally, so now it's player's turn. Any effects that see start of your next turn. You guys didn't have any of those. Do we want to stay in the same order where it's Big Brother, Hopper, Ghost One, or do you want to?
I do want to know where Hopper's going to put a mine before I move. I think I know.
Ghost Rider, vacate this zone. This has been designated a mines active zone. So
Well,
get
then
out of here quickly, Ghost One.
I suggest I move first then. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So I will move into visual range and cause all kinds of trouble to these 3 ties.
Sounds good. You're moving into visual, taking
Yeah.
it to them. I just
and-
realized a thing. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I just need to backtrack. Big Brother, you're in visual range, so you would have taken 2 harm, not 4 harm. It would have been 1 harm each. So they only did 2 harm to you.
I'm not sure that makes sense because I'm in the same
No.
zone as them. That kind of makes me sound like if each of us were our own furball, wouldn't they be, right next to me kind of thing?
I'll counter explain it with if you think of it of orbits, the fur ball is really dense.
Got it.
It's dead easy to get a lock on. The visual range is actually
A lot bigger.
And enormous.
It's huge. So really, you're a lot further away. Now, my question is, does it also apply the other way round, Rich? Do enemies take 1 less harm from us in those ranges?
They should. Yes. That is a good point.
So happily, that cruise missile.
Yeah, it still killed them. But these 2 bogeys who would have taken 1 harm each take 0 harm? Wow, that sucks. All right. Well, we definitely need to move you guys into the danger zone. Something to note.
That makes sense.
It also means that I should go back, not forward.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can still hit him with a cruise missile from there.
Yellow coward.
What commander? He's a commander.
Sure, it's not Yellow One. I'll flick a private channel to Dio and go, is that Yellow One, not Ghost One?
No, your scanners are. I'm yellow on your screen. You got it messed up.
The whole point about superiority fighters is to maintain superiority. I can hit them from there. They can't hit me. So I've moved, and I will unleash the second of my 3 cruise missiles.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Let's
And
see
I will
you.
roll 2d6.
Yes. 3 and a
3 and
3.
3.
So 3 is a tally,
even
so
with-
success
even
and a
with lock on.
consequence.
Yeah.
And I think they're, well, it's not much of a success of a consequence if they're firing and at range
Oh.
1 they do 1. Oh, but you're
Can
in.
I? Sorry,
Yes.
I've just my astrogation robot. I should roll a dice at the start of my turn to see if I get any benefits.
Yeah, do that.
A 5, 5, 6 plus 1 SA. Jeez, this is getting silly. When I wanted integrity, Celebi, off you go. Sorry. Astromech busily trying to kind of repair stuff, and instead just giving me more initiative.
Amazing. By the way, just so we're clear, I looked up the rules, Paul. You had chosen seismic mine, and you deploy that to range 0. So you deploy in the range band where you were.
Yeah, that's why I deployed it and then moved.
Okay, cool. So now, whenever any of these TIE fighters move into the danger zone, they're going to hit that seismic mine, which right now they are dealing with you guys out in visual range because they hope that the Gazanti class cruiser's cruise missile will do the job of taking out the Colossus in the fur ball. So you fire that cruise missile, and what is the consequence? Yeah, I'm going to say a consequence of you just got yourself a bunch of SA. I'm going to say that the consequence is you have to use a bit of your awareness to guide the missile. And so I'm going to say, instead of you taking harm, because they're not going to be able to do any harm to you, that is the cost. But any of these 3 will be moved to tally. So I'll just grab this guy as he is now moved to rally, and you splash another bandit. Let's swing to Ghost One. Who goes next? Hopper or Big Brother?
I'm happy if Big Brother goes.
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. So I'm going to divert from my weapons instead of my shields. I'm going to divert from my weapons to my shields to give myself shields +1. So now my shields is 2. I'm then going to use my movement, my free move, to move myself into the danger zone.
Okay. Ooh,
Which
you're
does
gonna
not
draw
trigger
them
the
in.
mine. It only triggers on bandits, but that could be rough for me later. And then I would like to use my action to use a maneuver to defeat the missile that's currently spiked on the Mustafar Colossus.
That sounds awesome.
Did you enter the danger zone?
I did.
Yes.
Do not enter the danger zone.
Well, no,
only
it
triggers on bandits.
It says when a bandit next enters the range band. So I think that mind is a little smarter.
Sweet. Excellent.
It's smarter than we
good.
are. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
High tech.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah. I thought it went for everybody. Crack on.
Yeah. So I'm going to attempt to defeat the spike tag, the missile that's on the Mustafar Colossus. A player can use their maneuver or action to do so. Which one they're using depends on how they describe the scene. Yeah, I'm going to, I have this support fighter with these bigger ships or with these bigger shields juiced up, and we're in an asteroid field. I'm going to attempt to kind of bump asteroids into the path of the guided missile.
That's great. Okay. That is wild. Let's see. So you're trying to bump some asteroids into I think you're gonna, on a tally, you're gonna take some damage.
That's totally reasonable.
And on fail, you're gonna take some damage.
I'm going to say I think this is rolling gauge, since this is something my ship is good at, is shields. I think it makes
Yeah.
sense that what I'm attempting to do is within that. All
That
right.
sounds great. Yeah, let's see them. Let's see how it goes.
All right. I got a lot of all right, a 5. 5 is a
That-
total success in this game.
That is a hit. Complete success. Don't know why I wanted to go all the way up to it. We both knew what that was, but hey, that's it. All
Love to
right.
see it.
You bump an asteroid and kind of like billiards or snooker, as one might say to our friends across the pond.
Alan loves that.
I know, he got very excited. I'm so happy. So you like shoot that asteroid across as the missile is coming. It's a complete success. And then there's an explosion, and Zay says, "Wow, you really saved me there, big brother. You're much more reliable than other members from your crew."
Was it me or was it the asteroid? I couldn't see. My scopes are kind of fuzzy down here.
Nice. Then a TIE fighter comes in. They're trying to strafing run, but Hopper's seismic mine decides to activate.
I think you're skipping Hopper, Rich.
Well, no, yeah, that's right. I don't want to skip Hopper, but I was thinking that a TIE fighter might hit the thing, but it's not my turn, so I'm not going to do the
You just
thing.
want a mine to
I'm
blow
excited.
up.
That's it. That's totally it. Sweet. So let's. Are there any essay you want to spend? Anything else you would like to do with your turn, big brother?
No, no essay, no talents, nothing I need to reroll. I'm good.
So Hopper, you are up. Would you like to do any reactor management?
Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
I will. So my configuration, I am going to stick. Yes, I will divert from weapons into shields. And I will deploy a mine in this danger zone, and I will move into the furball.
Cool. I will move you into fur. Oh, somebody got you. Awesome.
Be aware, that's another area mine.
Cool. So is that your third area that you bind or second?
Just the second.
Okay. So we've got a mine representing that already. Awesome. Do you want to spend any essay to take any other actions? Okay.
I think Paul's frozen.
Paul's frozen. Let's keep moving. So it sounds like there are no other actions, so we'll go for the S in turn. I'm going to roll for rally. Here we go. Rolling for rally. 2. I believe 2 is more SA. It is 1 SA out there. Who do you want to throw that to, Ghost 1?
I think I want to put that in the way of Big Brother. Because sooner or later he's going to have to start doing some repairs, I think.
Yep, and that's one of my talents for sure.
Sweet. Just because I like it and where we're at for time, I think this guy and this guy are both moving into the danger zone. And they're moving in together.
Of course they are.
Both the seismic mines come after them, and they start. One tries to fire on the seismic mine, but misses several times, and then it blows up his buddy. And then this one tries to go into the asteroid field to lose the seismic mine and slams straight into an asteroid, and they are both splashed. And ultimately, those splashes go to the person who laid the mines. That is Paul's character, Hopper. So Hopper, you get 2 splashes there.
There is a risk to us here.
It rattles me.
Yeah, exactly. It deals harm to when a bandit goes in, it goes off, but it adds harm and tags to all bandits, and PCs are plus rattled. Yeah.
Nice. You have a plus rattle tag. What does that mean? We ask.
I take one less. I deal one less harm when I
Mhm.
shoot.
And you spend 1 SA to remove. That's awesome. Thank you very much for reminding us of that, Ghost One. Your honor is appreciated. So the Gazanti class cruiser is going to be this is the other thing because I'm activating 3. They are moving into visual range, and then they are going to fire another cruise missile at the furball. They're just ignoring you guys. They're just making themselves more of a presence to draw your attention. And so the Musfar is spiked again. I'll just make that an angry red. And
Rich,
that is it. Yeah.
I just have a quick question before we bounce. How do we tick the clock free to jump? What do we need for the
Oh,
Mustafar to
that is
start
a great
going
question.
up?
Each round is a tick, so we're on round 3, and then you can say, "I want to do a maneuver to try to clear the path." And if you're
Okay.
successful, that'll add a tick. Otherwise, it's going to take 6 rounds to do it.
Got
I
it.
should have been much clearer in that. And thank you for asking the question.
Here's another question real fast. This has only been the second round. Are you going to be ticking it at the beginning of the third round? I think it should be
Correct.
at the end.
Oh,
Okay.
that's fair. At the end? Okay, so I'm
Yes.
clicking this at the end of my turn. So
Yeah,
I go the second
End
time.
of Sky Marshal.
Yep. Sounds good. Sweet.
Cool.
So
Okay.
here we have actually just so because these kind of don't matter per se, I'm going to put this up here in this visual range just because it's then clearer and easier, I think, to understand what's going on. All right. That is the end of my turn, and I take the second lick, and there we go. So we have 4 bogeys, 4 bandits, and 2 ships that are trying to close on the furball now. And let's go to Ghost One, who goes first in the player's turn.
Yeah, so hang on, let me think. So I will use my, sorry, I keep trying to move it on Yoshi's screen share. I will move into the furball, and I will spend an SA to scream break, break, break into the comms, which allows an ally at range 0 the opportunity to move into an adjacent range band immediately. What I'm thinking is to push Hopper into the danger zone in front of that Gazanti so he can drop a mine or move next and drop a mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Hopper,
so that,
Hopper moves.
yeah, immediately Hopper moves into the danger zone. Oh, sorry, there was something else I had to do, isn't there? Sorry, I should have done reactor management. That was take 1 off weapons and put 1 on afterburners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then I've got that second move, which enables me to get there. And then I spend a second SA to scream break, break, break again, which allows Hopper to get there immediately. So Hopper should be set up to mine there and then move. And then then
So
I'm
sorry,
gonna
I just want to step back for a second.
okay.
Hopper drops mines in range 0.
Yes. So he's in range 0 to the Gazanti right now.
Okay. But
Yeah.
the way the seismic mine says it works is when someone enters the range band.
Oh.
So you may need to leave him in danger zone and then try to
Yeah, I
draw the
may.
Gazanti in.
I
Sorry.
may. Okay, no, that's fine. That gives me an SA back. I will spend that SA instead to use my talent of Stellar Slip, which is switch range bands with an ally who's adjacent band and deal your primary harm to a bandit.
Nice.
So I am going to spend an SA to move me. Whoops, daisy. To move me into that danger zone, swap it with Big Brother, and deal 2 harm to one of the ties.
Nice. That will splash that tie. That's a third bogey splash this time around. That's awesome.
And that's 5 up, so I'll clear them all and give myself an XP.
Beautiful. Excellent
All
work.
turn.
Who do you want to go next? Big Brother or
Rich? Real quick,
Uh,
it is 7 minutes to the end of our session.
Yep.
And
It is.
also, Paul had a question. He was asking if he's blocked server side from audio and video.
Oh,
I haven't done anything.
He can see and hear, but he can't. He doesn't have video on himself or sound on himself, obviously.
I asked him to
Right.
unmute. I don't really have the functionality. This is regular Zoom. It's not running through a business or anything. It's my personal account, so I'm not doing anything. Sorry, that is weird. Huh.
well, that probably describes there comes a time in the affairs of men when either we leave it on this cliffhanger, or we don't.
I think we will stop here because not having Paul and also not having Kay, this is the perfect chance to say, boom. So Cody just went.
Alan
Right.
just went.
Sorry.
Actually, yeah, no, because if then I will spend in a final essay
Yes.
to switch back with Big Brother and deal 2 harm to that Gazanti.
That's awesome. 2 harm is that's cool. So the Gazanti does have some shields, but that's gonna hurt it for sure. So 2 harm to not sure what's going on. Sorry for dog bark. Cool. That's awesome. Let's I need 2-minute break to deal with dog, and then we're gonna just finish off stuff at the end. So start thinking of wishes and then stars. I'll be right back.
This Star Wars technology is not what it was,
It's things are different. It's so frustrating.
Retro future. That's weird. Paul, can you hear us? Question.
Paul can hear us. Yeah, he
Oh, he can.
me and him have
That's
been active in
bizarre.
the chat over here.
Oh yeah. I see it now.
Didn't know the internet was so bad over in which part was it again? The empty part of England is what you said?
In the empty quarter over there in Suffolk. Oh wow. So right. So this not just because I thought you might be in a hotel somewhere, Paul. Working off that cheap Premier Inn. I won't pay the extra Wi-Fi. Next week. Oh well, it can only be better.
Paul, where do you work that you can snake a helicopter helmet?
I'm not sure that while we're recording, he can tell you that.
Oh, perfect. Even better. Then never mind.
What's going on?
Nothing. Nothing.
No,
Happened. Rich, we're not drawing any attention to anything.
Nothing going on here.
Dang it! I should have turned off the summary. Okay. You guys good to go to Stars? So Paul, I don't know how
Don't
to
worry.
help.
Don't worry. I don't think it's something you can. I think this is Paul's saying that his Wi-Fi's been iffy for 48 hours. So there is stuff going on in the east of England.
Sucks so bad.
And you can't see it from where you're at because it's a small place, right? It's just one little island.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just go up to the top floor. I'll be able to see it from here.
I've seen your beautiful walks. You can look over and find them.
All right, so let's do a quick round of wishes stars. Actually, it was recording the whole time. I'm an idiot. That's amazing. Now I'm gonna go back and see what you guys did say. I thought I paused it.
He's
Sweets.
He's back.
I'm back. I'm back.
You can't keep a good Paul
Hopefully
down.
you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Amazing. Let's real quick go through wishes and stars. So wishes, who's got wishes for our last session? Which poll will be an abbreviated presence. You've got to leave early, right? Okay.
Then that maybe we see Hopper do something Hopper-like that will hit his XP target before he has to leave. That's my principal wish. And I thought the R&R was interesting. So I whether we'll have time for 2 R&Rs, I think is a tough question.
I'd love to finish this sortie, do an R&R, jump straight to final mission.
Yeah.
And maybe we just do, we'll play it by ear whether we do 1 R&R or 2 R&R. But yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
want to try to get through that cycle. Cody or Paul?
Wishes for the next session. This cool space battle. Let's see how that pans out, because I already got a different feeling from our first space battle. It is different, and I really dig that, Rich. So just more cool. I like space battles. Nice.
Spoiler, the last battle is not in space.
Oh, well, yeah, mate, you could do a trench run.
Protecting the Abathar base from walkers.
Yeah.
So screw it.
And you could just pop gun.
Well, it could be
that.
like alternating
That
in
would
and
work
out. Like maybe
brilliantly.
there's some on the ground. Some we'll play around with it. That'll be fun. Awesome. Thank you, Paul. Cody, any wishes?
Yeah, I'm wishing for, I want to see more R&R scenes. I think those are really cool, different ways of working the game, to kind of go from having really a lot of fiddly bits in the combat to being much more freeform in between. I think it's a really cool difference. So I wish for that. And yeah, I think Paul just hit on it. I think having different versions of space battles. We've had the first one. This one is obviously feeling different. And Star Wars does kind of classically have like 3 or 4 different types of space battles: the chase, the trench run, the defense, stuff like that. So it's like, we're hitting a few. I'm into it. I'd like to see more.
Cool. My wish, and I'm mostly just saying this out loud, that when we go into R&R, what we do is we do a quick out loud reminder of our EXP triggers as we set up those scenes. I think it'll be really helpful for us to be mindful of that. And who knows, maybe someone will earn an advance. It's not going to happen, but Sweet. Cody went last with wishes. You could go first with stars. Got any couple stars you want to throw out?
Yeah. So first of all, Alan, Edge Antigua is such a damn good name. I don't know if I mentioned that last time. I love the name. It's so sick. And Paul, I think this session your character really came alive, especially in the R&R scenes. I think, starting off and being immediately like, oh, I'm gonna go hit the gym, like already I have a better idea of who this guy is. And then in the setting up the scene with Hopper as the director, but being injured and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed those R&R scenes, bringing characters out. And Kay's not here, but the same to them. I think having the chance to have scenes outside the cockpit allowed everybody to show their character in ways that were maybe made more sense to them when they created them. So big stars to that. And a huge star. I still really like this system. I think it's really fun to do the shunting, diverting. I think that makes turns feel really controlled and fiddly, and it lets you do when in this last turn Alan's like, I'm gonna spend an SA to dodge into here and swap them out, and then I'm gonna swap. Like, that is the most commander shit ever, is moving everybody around the board to set them up, and it's like, this is so cool. So yeah, just a big start of that. And Rich for leaning into the system where it works, and filing stuff off where it doesn't.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, Cody. Paul, did you have any stars you want to throw in that Cody missed?
Stars. I really liked Cody's scene. when he was, trying to divert me and then Banshee away, the stuff on the ground. That really did bring out Dio as a character, and Alan did the same in the crash landing. I was a bit torn up there whether because there's many. What's the film where they land in the desert and it's all about water? And the model airplane guy. Anyway, I thought it might have gone a bit that way. But
Well,
yeah, really good there, Alan. And Rich,
gosh, yes.
go ahead.
Alan's trying to remember
You
the
know the
movie,
one.
I think.
It got remade and it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
It got remade and it wasn't as good. Yeah.
So Eric knows this,
Rich,
yeah.
you really bring these games alive. This is just Star Wars. It really is good, and everyone leans into it, and I think everyone has a really fun time. So really enjoying it. Some great GM and Rich, brilliant.
Thank you, Alan. Finish this off.
Yeah, I'll endorse that. I think that I think what's really interesting about this is the fact that there's very heavy focus on you in terms of the fiddly bits of space combat, but it deliberately then spreads that load for the R&R, which I think is a really neat. But because I hope it allowed you to take a kind of bit of a breath.
I loved it. I'm so thankful. That was my biggest star. Is like thanks to this game, let me watch you guys play. It was really fun.
Yes, I think that thank you to all the three players for leaning into the idea of me directing a scene driven by my character that did not in fact involve me, but gave them some space to do some stuff. I thought it was really cool.
That was a neat framing of that scene, by the way, to reinterpret the you could use a kiss in that way. That was really clever, Alan.
I mean, that's my only. It was interesting. There are more in the PDF than that because I was thinking, but no, I think that's a neat idea. I do wonder now I think about it whether the way any series this should start is with an R&R. So that you've got an idea of some character interaction before you get in the cockpit.
That's
because
really
I think Cody's right.
Smart.
We really got a feel for the characters, in that R&R feel, in which we didn't really in our first space battle.
That's so interesting. But to dovetail in that, part of my brain is like, what if during character creation you start by looking at the scenes? Here are the scenes for R&R.
Yeah.
All right,
What
make
kind
your
of character you want to play that will play in those scenes, knowing that these scenes are happening no matter what, and the missions could be different. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Because I liked starting the game and just being like, immediately we're being shot on, because you're like, it's kind of, it mimics the hectic.
It's very
feel of what it
cinematic,
would be like, right? You're like, I don't know what all these fiddly bits are yet, and they're blasting us apart. This is war and it's hell. But the character bit of it, I think, yeah, it really comes alive in R&R, just by the nature of forcing you to be like, all right, now role play, and maybe there's some dice in there too.
Yeah, we need to graft Hearts of Wulin into the R&R scenes.
I gotta play that damn game. I haven't played it yet.
Any more, Alan? Because I know we jumped in on your star. We got all excited by it.
No. I think that I started the system. I think this is a very interesting space combat game.
It is pretty good. I like it. It's hard because it's been a whole year to compare and contrast this one and Red Air, which was the one of TIE fighters. The tone is drastically different, but yeah, cool stuff. All right, thank you guys so much for playing. And with that, we will bring this.
You can post it, Rich. You can
post it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. We'll stop the recording here. Thank you guys so much.